Y'all know what time it is, fight fam. Let's get started with Ilia Topuria sends a warning to Charles Oliveira and goes off on Islam Makhachev. The highly anticipated fight between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira is only days away, but El Matador isn't letting up on the verbal jabs that he's been firing at Do Bronx and Islam Makhachev. Topuria decided to vacate the UFC's featherweight title and move up to lightweight. He's repeatedly warned that his powers at 155 will be even greater. Not only that, Topuria has repeatedly insisted he's going to finish Oliveira in the first round, even though Do Bronx has finished innumerable top-tier lightweights. Case in point, during the countdown show for UFC 317, Topuria said this: "I don't play anyone's game. I make them play my game. That's why I'm undefeated and he's not. He has 10 losses and I have 0. I respect him, but I'm going to try to take his head off, and you all know I'm going to do it." Now, it should be noted that Oliveira also isn't backing down, and he's sharing why he thinks that he'll reclaim the lightweight title on June 28th. Oliveira has questioned whether Topuria will be the force he was at featherweight, and he's even argued that his punching power is greater than El Matador's. So when Topuria was asked about Oliveira's comments while talking with Kevin Iola, the Spain-based fighter said this: "That's very, very wishful thinking that he thinks he has a more powerful punch than me. I challenge him. We can do a separate boxing match, grappling match, wrestling match. Everywhere I beat him however I want. This is how confident I feel." Now, as UFC 317 approaches, it seems like that Topuria's clearest path to victory is on the feet, and that he should try to avoid any ground exchanges with Oliveira. That's because Do Bronx is one of the most dangerous submission artists the UFC has ever known. So if those comments from Topuria raised your eyebrows, check out what he had to say in this pre-fight media scrum.
"I can knock him out, I can submit him, whatever. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm gonna knock him out in the first round or submit him in the first round, because he walks forward. I'm not gonna need to close the distance with him. Since the first moment, we are gonna find each other in the center of the octagon. So yeah, it's gonna be a first round finish."
Do you see it happening? Topuria submitting Oliveira? And do you think he truly believes this? Well, one man who submitted Oliveira was the now former champ Islam Makhachev, who has moved up to welterweight to pursue the 170 pounds title. Topuria has made it clear that he wants to fight Makhachev. At his open workout, Topuria said he'll move up to 170 just to chase Makhachev. But while talking with Yahoo Sports' Iola, Topuria said that a bout with his rival Paddy Pimblett would be even bigger, while yes, taking some additional pokes at Makhachev.
"I think that it's gonna be even bigger, me against Paddy, than me against Islam, because the one that no one gives a about him, that's Islam. No one gives a even in Dagestan, when he's fighting, the people goes to sleep and they watch his fight in the morning. Even at home, who gives a about Islam? He doesn't even know how to pronounce 2 words.
Do you agree that Topuria versus Pimblett would be bigger? First of all, however, Topuria needs to get past Do Bronx, and according to a recent social media post from Irati Pratt, Topuria's team is reporting the following about his camp. His team tells me that Ilia Topuria has broken his visual reaction speed record multiple times during this camp. The previous record was set during his featherweight camp for UFC 308, in case anyone thought he'd be slower at lightweight. It's going to be fascinating to see how Topuria performs at lightweight, and thankfully we don't have to wait much longer. Who are you picking to win the UFC 317 main event? Francis Ngannou responds to Dana White. Yesterday, during the UFC Baku press conference, Dana White was asked about reassigning Francis Ngannou. Here's what he had to say.
UFC of what? One thing I've learned over the years about Francis doesn't always mean what he says publicly. What he says behind the scenes are different than what he says publicly. I'm not a big fan. I would be shocked if Francis ever came back here on lots of different levels. I'm not a fan, and he doesn't always mean what he says publicly.
Francis heard Dana White's comments and said the following on X. "Did I say I'm ever coming back?" with a confused emoji. He also responded to a fan who told him to come back and get his belt by writing, "I don't remember losing it, mate. It's still in my closet." Tom Aspinall reacts to John Jones' retirement. What a wild weekend it has been. reported yesterday that Dana White revealed during the post-fight press conference for UFC Baku that Jon Jones is officially retired. Well, we had a lot of things happen since then. Jon Jones talked about his retirement on a social media post. Today, I'm officially announcing my retirement from the UFC. This decision comes after a lot of reflection, and I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the journey I've experienced over the years. From the first time I stepped into the octagon, my goal was to push the boundaries of what was possible in this sport, becoming the youngest UFC champion in history, defending my title against some of the best fighters in the world, and sharing unforgettable moments with fans across the globe. These are memories I'll cherish forever. I've faced incredible highs and some tough lows, but every challenge has taught me something valuable and made me stronger. Both as a fighter and as a person, I want to thank the UFC, Dana, Hunter, Lorenzo, God, my family, coaches, teammates, and all the fans who have stood by me through every chapter. Your unwavering support and belief in me have been my foundation. To my fellow fighters, thank you for bringing out the best in me and for the respect we've shared inside and outside the cage. As I close this chapter of my life, I look forward to new opportunities and challenges ahead. MMA will always be a part of who I am, and I'm excited to see how I can continue to contribute to the sport and inspire others in new ways. Thank you all for being part of this incredible journey with me. The best is yet to come. After the post, many people from the MMA community called out Jon Jones for using AI to write the statement. After the Jon Jones announcement, Tom Aspinall reacted to the situation on Instagram by writing, "It's time to get this heavyweight division going. An active, undisputed champion." Daniel Cormier also reacted to the news and called Jon Jones a quitter during his YouTube video.
You got to stay up late with the boy because Jon Jones quit. I said it a couple weeks ago that if he didn't fight this guy, Jon Jones quit. And tonight, Dana White announced that he did. Unbelievable. I don't know if this is tactics by the UFC. I don't know that this is frustrations with Jon Jones. I don't know what this is. Does it feel like the end completely? I hope it does. Because if he cares about his legacy, he doesn't want to be sitting there beating up on guys that may get past Tom Aspinall. They gave him the money. They agreed to everything. And he still just would not do it. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Like this, my head's spinning. It was crazy when Dana said that.
But with all of this happening, there was also some wild news that dropped involving Jon Jones in an alleged hit and run. So let's go on to our next story. Jon Jones charged with hit and run again. Jon Jones is allegedly in trouble with the law again after there was a misdemeanor charge placed on him for leaving the scene of an accident in February. The charge was filed Tuesday in Metropolitan Court, and Jones has been called to appear for a bond arraignment on July 24th. The report stated that an Albuquerque State Police officer was investigating a traffic crash near San Mateo and Lomas when they came across a woman in the front passenger seat of one of the cars exhibiting signs of significant intoxication and lacking clothing from the waist down. The woman allegedly said that Jon Jones was the driver but fled the scene on foot. She then allegedly called Jones, and a police service aide spoke to the man on the other end of the call believed to be Jones. He appeared to be heavily intoxicated and made statements implying his capacity to employ lethal force through third parties to the PSA. According to the court record, the complaint also stated that the man on the phone never answered direct questions about whether he was Jon Jones. When Jon was interviewed in person a few days after the crash, he said the woman found in the car had left his house earlier in the day intoxicated and called him after getting in the crash. At which time he said the person she handed the phone to immediately opened the conversations with unprofessional language, which led him to doubt the legitimacy of the individual's claim. The woman later told police she drank alcohol and consumed mushrooms at Jay's house and recalled needing to change her clothes at his house, and her next recollection was being at the scene of a traffic accident. She said the last person she remembered driving her car was Jon. Police also said that Jon called the woman's phone 13 times from the time of the crash until 11:34 a.m. the following morning, and that text messages from his phone were included. But they could not be, quote, captured and called detail records. Jon Jones reacted to this news on X by writing, "Keep in mind, even the media can get it wrong sometimes. If they don't have all the facts, don't believe everything you read online."
Did you know about the stuff that came out of Albuquerque last night?
I saw it today. When I saw it today, I said, oh, everybody's going to think this is why he retired. Maybe that is why he retired. Who the hell knows, man? But yeah, I don't know. These are all questions you got to ask him. We had the fight done. You know, you saw me talking about it very confidently that this fight was going to happen, and then he changed his mind.
What do you think of this situation? Let us know in the comments below, and please subscribe to help us grow and keep giving the best MMA daily content.